Hi everyone, welcome to Enjoy English School. I'm Stephen.
I'm Minnie.
Today we're going to be covering Travel English on pages 58 to 59, and the date is September 28th.
那我们今天的主题观光英文在第58、59页的部分，然后我们今天9月28号准备好了吗？
Okay, and the title is Going Through Customs Upon Arrival.
那我们今天要讲的是入境过海关的部分。
Right, and upon here, upon, this preposition means like once you get to, okay, once you arrive. So going through customs once you arrive, and this dialogue is between the customs officer and Brooke. And Brooke just got off her flight and is waiting to go through customs at LAX.
那这个对话呢，是这个海关人员跟 Brooke 这个人他的对话。那 Brooke 呢，他刚下飞机，正在洛杉矶国际机场等待通关。
All right, let's get started. All right, before we start this dialogue, I want to explain what customs are in a country. Customs are the authority in a country who control the flow of goods in and out of the country.
那海关呢，它其实就是一个掌权的人。那这个权利是什么呢？就是他去控制我们入境跟出境的一些货品。
So what do we mean by authority? A-U-T-H-O-R-I-T-Y. It's basically like anybody who is in charge of the country, like the policemen, like in this situation, customs, people who have that power. Okay, those are people who work in authority. Okay.
所以 authority 这个字它其实本身有权力的意思。那在这边我们指的是有点像是官方公家人员，像是警察或像我们的海关人员，他们就会有一些可能比一般我们民众还要来高一点点的权利，可以去检查你啊，或检查物品啊，以求社会安全这样。
Exactly. All right, so the customs officer, he starts the dialogue and he says, "Please step forward, miss."
他说：“女士，请往前一步。”
Okay, so here we see the word miss, M-I-S-S. 这个不是错过的意思. Okay? Usually we say that to a lady who is usually younger and we assume that she's not married. Okay? If maybe we think that she is married or she's older, sometimes we say, "Please step forward, ma'am." M-A-M. Okay? If someone is married, we usually say Mrs. Okay?
M-R-S.
So M-R-S, period. All right? So please step forward, miss, usually is a nicer way to say, oh, you're still young and, I'm not going to assume that you're married. Even if you're older, maybe you're not married. So miss is usually less likely to offend people.
所以 Miss 它是比较不会去让别人感到反感的一个称呼，有点像是小姐或女士的意思。就是我们不管她可能就通常是比较年轻或者是未婚，我们就会称为她是 Miss。那如果你已经很确定她就是结婚了，我们也会叫她 Miss， 但是她的拼法就会变 MRS， 然后再加一个缩写点。
And please step forward 就是请往前走 so she's the next in line.
对，她是後面排隊的人，請往前走，上前一步的意思。
Where are you arriving from?
你從哪裡來的啊？
And also I want to mention Mrs. M-R-S, period. Actually, that's abbreviation.
Yes.
Like if you spelled it out, it would be M-I-S-S-U-S, Mrs. Okay? But nobody spells it like that. We all abbreviate it to M-R-S, period. Okay?
所以有縮寫點啊。
So where are you arriving from? 你是從哪裡來的? So Brooke responds with, "Good afternoon." Okay, so that's always good to start polite.
午安。
Yeah, 午安. Okay. I was on the flight from Auckland.
所以我搭乘的是从纽西兰奥克兰起飞的航班。
Okay. Here's my passport and my customs form.
这是我的 passport 护照跟我的 custom form 我的通关单。
Right. So in English, when we're hand something over, H-A-N-D, 不是把你的手给人家, it means to give something to
交
someone.
什么东西交出去的意思。
Right. So when you're handing something over, in English, sometimes we pair it with, here's my blah, blah, blah. So here's my passport and my customs form. So customs, as we talked about earlier, is about anything,
海关。
just It's also in this situation is talking about the things that you have to declare or tell that you're bringing into the country. So that is what customs are as well. And a form is something that you have to fill out. Okay, so here, what is a customs form is when you have to tell the country that you're coming into, am I bringing a lot of money? Am I bringing things that I shouldn't bring? What do I have on me?
所以在这边，我们 custom 我们刚刚讲过是海关的意思嘛？那 form 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 它的动词是形成的意思，但是我们这边当名词形式的时候，就是一个填单、一个表格的意思。那填这个单子的作用，有旅游的同学呢就会知道说，哎，你出国是不是同学都会请你帮忙带一些东西？那有一些特殊的东西，像酒啊，或者是可能像药品啊，或者像肉类，肉类是完全禁止的。那什么药品或酒，可能它就有一定的上限，几颗或几公升内可以。那这就是我们必须要去 declare， 我们必须要去宣称、去写上去这个单子上的。
Right， and 刚刚 Minnie 老师有提到禁止的 ，right？ 禁止的 English 的话是 prohibited，OK？ Not allowed， 没有允许的。Prohibited 是 prohibited，就是禁止的。
对，你如果带 prohibited 的东西的话，是会被没收的哦。
Exactly，
还会被罚钱哦。
You might get a fine。
Yeah.
Fine, F-I-N-E， 不是在形容
I'm fine，
不是那个哦。如果是名词的话，它就是一个费用，
对，一个被罚金的意思。
Exactly. So here the custom officer then replies, "Thank you." Okay, so he's being polite back to her. What is the purpose of your visit?
因为他刚刚不是上一句说 Here's my 这个里是我的什么东西嘛，所以 Here's my 的句型，刚刚老师有讲嘛，这个是我的什么，我就会用 Here's my 开头。那他这样给了这个 officer 也很有礼貌，跟他说 Thank you， 感谢你。那你这个此行的目的是什么呢
？So in Asia, a lot of times when you have these kind of exchanges or conversations with people you don't know, you don't necessarily say things that are very polite.Like thank you or how are you? A lot of times these exchanges are very silent. But in America and American culture, they really care about you being polite. Like thank you, how are you, good afternoon. It's really important that to know that this is a cultural difference. Okay, so when they ask you how are you doing, just say I'm fine. But if you don't respond, they might think you're being rude.
所以这个有点文化差异，就像我们平常如果要跟别人讲说，哎，那个你好啊，早安，谢谢，感觉好像用中文讲就很别扭，可用英文讲感觉很自然，因为在英文美语的这个国家，他们就是有这样子的一个，我也可以说比较客气或有礼貌的讲法，反正他们就是把那种谢谢啊、早安、午安、晚安啊，当做是一个很正常的口头禅或一个打招呼的方式在使用。
Right. Then Brooke says, I'm just sightseeing and visiting some friends.
所以在这边我们看到 sightseeing 是观光的意思，所以 Brooke 就讲明他的目的地是什么，他来观光，然后 visit some friends， 他要来拜访一些朋友。
Right, so the just here is another way to say only.
只是
I'm only sightseeing and visiting some friends. 也可以这样讲。And then the custom officer replies, all right, so you're here for tourism purposes and won't be doing any business.Is that correct?
所以在这边我们讲到一个字 tourism 这个字其实就是观光，而且是你在那种就是入境单上面会看到的字就是这个哦 T 开头 tourism 这个字就代表你是观光目的进来的，所以海关就帮他做了一个决定啦，下一个结论说好，那你来这边的目的主要就为了观光，不会从事任何的商业活动，对吗
？So here he is confirming with her. Confirm, C-O-N F-I-R-M, okay, 就是确认. So he's confirming with her that she's only here for tourism purpose or for traveling, for pleasure, okay? Travel for pleasure, 就是 tourism.
来玩的啦。
对，来玩的，对。So Brooke replies, yes, sir.
是的，先生。
是的，先生。So here, she's being very polite back to him. Yes, sir. And even though there's a comma between yes and sir in written English, when we say it, we don't need to pause. So you don't go, yes, sir. It's yes, sir. Okay.
对，所以当你这边还是有看到逗号，我们还是不需要去做一个太多停顿的动作，直接讲说是的，先生 ，yes sir， 或者是长官，我们也可以叫做 sir。
That's correct. 对，没错。
没错。
I'm leaving next Thursday.
我下周4就会离开了。
I don't think I need a visa, right?
我想我不需要 visa 签证，对吗
？Okay, so 这个 comma 也是一样，不需要停顿。如果在讲的话 ，OK， 只是写下来的话，就是更明确让人家知道这是个问题。后面的 right 是跟它分开的。Okay, I don't think I need a visa, right?
对，我不需要签证，对吗
All right, let's take a short break. So the customs officer continues and he says, yes, New Zealand citizens can stay in the U.S. for up to 90 days without one.
所以他说，没错，纽西兰公民是可以免签证停留在美国长达90天的。
All right, so if they could stay for 90 days, he could also say that these New Zealand citizens or people from New Zealand can stay in the U.S. for 90 days, okay? But he's saying for up to 90 days. So it means that you don't have to stay necessarily 90 days exactly. You can stay for 40 days or you can stay for 86, 87 days, okay?
Yeah.
So up to 90 days, it means that the maximum of 90 days. Maximum, M-A-X-I-M-U-M, maximum, okay? 就是最多, okay? Maximum of 90 days without one. What is he talking about here? One.
Visa.
Right, because in the last sentence, Brooke was talking about her visa. Did she need a visa? So here he is reconfirming with her that she doesn't need one. Okay, doesn't need a visa. So he could also say without a visa, but because we already know we're talking about a visa, he could replace that word with one.
对，所以在这边呢，老师刚刚有讲说，我们有一个 up to 90 days。up to 就是最多至多，到顶了就是90天。那你如果超过的话，可能就会有一些罚则啊，或者是可能你就是不合法的这样。所以这个 up to 就是至多到顶的意思。那你可以待40天、30天，只要是低于90都可以。那再来后面我们可以看到这个 one 这个代名词，它其实指的就是我们刚刚前一句提过的 visa 这件事情。那在讲中文，我们也会用它啊，其他的这种代名词，对不对？英文也有，所以在这边就是至多90天，我们就是省略签证这个东西。
Right. So here for up to 90 days, we could also say for less than 90 days. Okay, 少于90天. Okay, it's just a different.
小于等于90天。
Exactly. So it's just a different
表达方式。
Do you have anything to declare?
你有没有任何东西是需要申报 declare?
Okay, so what does it mean to declare? Okay, it means that you're acknowledging that you have some taxable income or dutiable goods.
对，所以你就是代表说，你知道说你有一些东西是需要报税的，或者是需要抵税的。
Right, so dutiable, so D-U-T-I-A-B-L-E. 大家应该都有看过 duty free. 对不对？就是 tax free 的意思 ，dutiable 就是可以被 tax 的，可以被算税的那种的 goods， G-O-O-D-S 就是一些的物品 ，okay， like alcohol or there's actually alcohol sometimes is duty free, right? So it depends on the country. Some countries certain things are dutiable, but certain things aren't.
加税抵税的物品不太一样。
But when you're going through customs, they want to ask, do you have anything to declare? And a lot of times when you're leaving customs to go into the country at the airport, they have two sections. One is anything things to declare or nothing to declare.
红色、绿色的通道，绿色就是你可能不用 declare， 你没有要申报的东西。那红色可能就是你需要申报的东西，这样。要诚实。
Exactly. Then the customs officer, he continues with, are you carrying any produce or dangerous items?
所以他继续问哦，他就问说，这个海关人员就问说，那你有没有携带任何农产品或者是危险物品呢
？Right, so what does carry mean? C-A-R-R-Y. It can mean to hold up or to carry. 携带, right? So carry is like 你身上有没有这些东西? Are you carrying any produce? Here, let's look at this word produce. If we talked about the verb produce, okay, where we put the emphasis on the deuce, this is to 制造, okay? This factory produces toys, okay? 这个
工厂制造玩具
right,
produce.
一样的拼法哦，那是把 emphasis 重点放在 deuce 上面。可是如果是 produce， 把 emphasis 放在 pro 上面这个名词的话，它其实是一些 agricultural and natural products collectively, such as like corn, vegetables, flour, anything that is used to be living or is living, okay? And sometimes it's even like meat, like chicken meat, poultry, and beef, stuff like that. That is all different types of produce.
所以在这边 produce 重音放在 pro 的时候，我们是名词代表农产品。那农产品它就很广泛啊，有可能是植物类的，也有可能是动物肉类的，我们都可以把它称为 produce。那这边老师刚刚有特别讲到 produce， 如果你的重音放在 duce 的话，那它就会变成动词生产的意思。所以这个重音的改变，同学可以练习一下 produce。
So what are dangerous dangerous items. What are items?
就是一些物品
Right.
things.
Right. Things. Dangerous things 也可以. The items is usually a little bit more formal. Okay.
比较正式
Exactly. All right. And Brooke replies with, no, I don't have anything like that.
没有，我没有携带那样的物品
The customs officer then says, okay, please look at the camera and put your fingers on the scanner.
所以这时候海关人就说好的，那麻烦你看向镜头 camera， 然后把你的手指放在 scanner 扫描机上
So scan, S-C-A-N.
扫描
This verb is 扫描的意思. So scanner 变成名词就是扫描的那个机器.
机器
Okay, scanner. All right, so Brooke does as the customs officer says.
所以布鲁克他就照着海关所说的去做
Right, so when A does as B says or as B asks, okay, 你可以这样讲 Brooke does as the customs officer asks. 这个 A does as B 那个 says 的意思就是 A 听 B 所说的。
照着 B 说的去做的意思
没错，没错。Okay, then the customs officer says that will be all.
那这样就可以了
我所有要叫你的东西都做好了。
对
Here's your passport.
这是你的护照
Okay, so he's handing her the passport back. So he's also saying, here's
Here.
your passport. Okay, 他不是在说，这是你的 passport. Here is your passport. 不是，是现在在给你的时候，我们英文会搭配 Here's your
所以
passport.
要搭那个动作
You can claim your bags downstairs.
那你可以到楼下领取你的行李，注意哦，这边领取行李用 claim 这个字哦
Even claim, the English, it can also mean saying that something is yours. Okay,
宣称说某些事情是你的时候，你也可以用 claim 这个字。
right? And this section where you claim your bags, we usually call it the baggage claim.
那这个行李的提领处就是那个转盘啊的那个地方，我们称为 baggage， 也就是行李，然后 claim baggage claim 就是行李的提领处。
Right, and baggage is spelled B-A-G-G-A-G-E, baggage claim.
不可数名词哦。
Yes. Okay, so then Brooke replies with thank you.
谢谢您。
你看，非常有礼貌，
真的。
真的是西方文化的一个习惯。A lot of times when we're being polite, 我们会说 thank you, how are you? It's almost like we don't really mean it. It's just like an automatic response. Okay, so even if they're like, okay, thank you or whatever, and 他们态度没有那么的真的很像在讲
没有那么
谢谢
真诚。
Right, if you don't say it back, then they get offended. 如果你没有回给他的那种礼貌的话，我们在美国，我们西方文化的国家，我们很容易会被得罪到。
怎么这么玻璃心呢？
可是那就是一个文化，对，没有办法，这就是 cultural difference， 所以就是必须要知道你要去西方文化国家的时候，你必须要习惯就是 make small talk， 闲聊，还有说how are you, thank you, have a good day。
所以真的要把请、谢谢、对不起挂嘴边。
Yeah, and it's different here in different Asian countries, but in Western countries, it's just very polite. They like to be polite. Okay? And then the customs officer, look, he is saying something very polite as well. He says, enjoy your stay in the country.
这就是我们很常听到的祝您旅途愉快，我们就会用这样子的句子。
Right, okay. So hope you guys learned a lot. We're going to do the review section right now. All right, Minnie 老师,
Yeah?
what is the customs
就
of the country?
是我们在机场可以看到的海关
So customs can also be like the traditions.
习俗，
Right, so if you're talking about the customs at the airport, usually that doesn't mean
就是海关啦，
Right.
是习俗，
是机场的习俗, right?
机场的习俗，
Yeah. So when you get off your flight, what does that mean?
代表你下飞机 get off。
Okay, and if you're in the line at customs, they might ask you to step forward. What does step forward mean?
Step forward 就是请你上前一步。那刚刚老师有讲到 in the line 是排队的意思哦。
So if you answer that you're just sightseeing, what does sightseeing mean?
就代表你是来看风景的，来观光 for fun。
Yeah, for tourism.
Tourism 也就是观光的意思，
Yes, and you might be a citizen from a different country. What is a citizen?
就是代表你是某个国家的人民或公民，我们就用 citizen 这个字。
Okay, so if you're a citizen of a different country coming to a foreign country, you might only be able to stay up to 90 days. What does up to mean?
所以如果你是一个旅客嘛，你不是当地的居民，你可能 们只能够待至多最多90天，所以 up to 就是到顶了，最多90天，不能超过哦。
Right. So do you have anything to declare?
你有没有什么东西要申报啊？
Right, because you might have some dutiable goods. What are dutiable
就
goods?
是需要课税、缴税的，跟税务相关的一些货品。
Right, and dutiable, D-U-T-I-A-B-L-E. Okay, and after you have gone through customs, they'll tell you to go to the baggage claim. What is that?
就是你的行李提领处 baggage claim.
Exactly. So next time when you go through customs at a foreign country, hopefully you'll know what to say.
Here's my passport.
All right, make sure to declare any items if you need to.
Or just don't bring it.
Or, bon voyage. Have a good vacation. All right, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Going through customs upon arrival. Brooke just got off her flight and is waiting to go through customs at LAX.
Please step forward, miss. Where are you arriving from?
Good afternoon. I was on the flight from Auckland. Here's my passport and my customs form.
Thank you. What is the purpose of your visit?
I'm just sightseeing and visiting some friends.
All right, so you're here for tourism purposes and won't be doing any business. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. I'm leaving next Thursday. I don't think I need a visa, right?
Yes, New Zealand citizens can stay in the U.S. for up to 90 days without one. Do you have anything to declare? Or are you carrying any produce or dangerous items?
No, I don't have anything like that.
Okay, please look at the camera and put your fingers on the scanner.
Brooke does as the customs officer says.
That will be all. Here's your passport. You can claim your bags downstairs.
Thank you.
Enjoy your stay in the country.